is quality work, it's honest.
But it's also that personal touch of what else can I do to help?
If I call Jimmy, or if I call James Jr., or if I call one of his guys, I get the same response because that's ingrained in the Sass Electric team.
When I call Jimmy, he calls me back and he actually gets the job done.
In 1973, two brothers, Jack and Jim Sass, who had worked for Joe O'Connor Electric, decided to go in business after Joe had retired. With no business experience, they rolled up their sleeves and started Sass Electric. Their first job locally ended up being the Deli Freeman building, but they also did a lot of work in the city of Kingston doing bank work and residential work and a little bit of IBM work at the time.
Over the years, James Sr. did wiring in my house. This is 30 plus years ago. I have never had a problem with the wiring in the house.
My grandfather, Frank Sass, was an electrician. He worked out of his house down on Hunter Street. And back then, the city of Kingston decided that they were going to have licensed contractors. So my grandfather took a test and he got a license, and they gave him number 3. After that, he had retired, and my father and my uncle had worked for O'Connor Electric, and they ended up taking over Sass Electric. So my father asked for his father's license after passing the test, and they gave him number 3. And then unfortunately, back in 1991, I lost my father. So when I took the test and passed, I asked for his license. So today, J&J Sass Electric still carries electrical license number 3.
Before it was Sass Electric, it was James Sr. that worked as an electrician. For those that will drive across the Kingston-Rancliffe Bridge, he and his nephew did the wiring for all the lights on that bridge. So each time anyone was to cross that bridge, think of Sass Electric.
So here at Sass Electric, we mainly do industrial and commercial type projects. Our coverage area besides Ulster County is Dutchess County, Sullivan County, Putnam County, Orange County, and Westchester County. Some of the projects that we've taken on are wastewater treatment plants. We take on a lot of school work. We do a lot of Bank of America, Ulster Savings Bank.
They have done a multitude of things from electric, Cat5 cabling. They've done installing projectors, installing screens to hide them to make rooms look professional. They've done lighting remodels, so the gamut. And it's not just electric, I always think anything with a wire they can figure out.
Trust and loyalty to my customers, to me, means doing the job right the first time. My father and uncle spent many, many years building a foundation of success for this company. I just basically built upon their foundation and expanded our services to what we have today. Our largest project to date was an unfortunate fire down at the Gap building in Fishkill. It happened 4 or 5 years ago, and it was a total gut. We are their in-house electrician, so about 4 o'clock in the morning they immediately started calling our numbers, and we showed up that morning. Over the time of the next few months, we actually did a design build, we did an evaluation. We ended up being on site for about 1.5 years on the rebuild. So we did the total rebuild of a 1 million square foot warehouse, and that job alone was in excess of $10 million of electric work.
We've worked with the business for going on 20 years now, and it seems like the relationship hasn't changed no matter how big Jimmy gets.
There are a lot of positives to be said about family-run businesses. To be able to come to work every day with my dad, my brother, and employees that are like family to me is a privilege that I don't think any of us take for granted. Working for a company that was started almost 5 decades ago by my grandfather gives me such a sense of pride and purpose, more so than I ever would feel working for another firm.
Working with my children has been an absolute unbelievable experience. To me, what's unique with Jimmy on the electrical side is that he comes in my office and he'll ask me some questions. He utilizes my experience to help him do his job well. There's a lot of communication that goes on, and that's all important stuff when we're putting together a bid for a customer. We want to make sure that when we give out a price, it's the right price.
Well, when he's not on the golf course, working with my dad is great. He's very helpful you know, training me in the estimating program that we have in project managing. He's a great resource and wouldn't want to work for anybody else.
With Jess, we work on the accounting sides, so we're constantly looking at accounts payable, accounts receivable, and working closely with her department, just making sure that the cash flow of the entire company is doing well.
My dad and I, we've always had a great relationship. He was always my softball coach growing up, and so working with him, getting to see him every day, it's great.
Whenever my dad decides to step away, which we're not pushing him out by any means, but we will be, you know, very, very grateful to have this company, you know, for the next few generations.
With Jimmy and Jess on board and them learning every single day, the business has a future. And then with Jess just having Emerson, our first grandchild, who knows, that maybe we'll be here for a very long time. The Heritage Award is a special award. I've noticed through the years a lot of great companies have received the award.
I think it's a great honor for us.
It definitely is an honor. I think it's just a great tribute to how my grandfather started this company from essentially nothing, and we've built it into what it is today.
I've been actually waiting a long time to have something like this come our way. I'd like to thank Ward and his committee and the Chamber in general for this award. I'd like to thank my wife for sticking by me for all these years, and my kids. I've surrounded myself with such quality people, and without them, Sass Electric wouldn't be the company that it is today. So thank you.